All right, the battle for the AFC East is at stake when Josh Allen and the Bills travel to see Tua, Tyreek, and the Finns in Miami. No starters will be resting for this one, Marcus. Book that. The division crown, playoff seeding, home playoff games are all on the line. But, Marcus, RC, essay's over Miami. Let me run it back for you.
I'm going to say something that's relatively unpopular. I'm hoping the Dolphins get their ass kicked. I'm sick of them. I am sick of the Miami Dolphins. I am sick and tired of the Dolphins going on the road and building up everybody's hope only to wet the bed. I'm sick of them.
Okay, RC back here with us. Marcus Spears and this guy. Swaggo. Oh my goodness. Do you see the face? Do you see the faces you're getting?
Listen, I'm
side eye.
Listen. I don't blame them. I can't knock my boys for getting on me. I can't knock them. RC man, Swaggo man.
Emotional.
It is. I'm gonna be honest with you. Listen, let me take. You know what, RC? Listen, if nothing else, bro. If nothing else, I'm honest. You know what I'm saying? I was kind of fantasizing, you know what I'm saying? That you know, you know, they may make it to the NFC Championship game. First of all, I love watching Tyreek Hill. I love watching when Tua gets him the football. I love watching when Waddle's healthy and he's getting the football. So I'm thinking about all of these things. Hearing people like you and RC talking about the greatness of Mike McDaniels and his play calling acumen and all of this stuff. So I'm going like this. You know, they do play near South Beach. You know, and
oh my
could
God.
you imagine? I said, could you imagine if I'm going to Miami and there's a Miami Heat game on an off day, and then you also get to go see the Dolphins? It's just a beautiful thought. And then they go on the road. And Buffalo, and they get blitzed 48 to 20.
Ain't thinking about what you got to do when they play.
And then they go to Baltimore. And it's not that they lost. It's that they get their ass kicked. And it really bothers me. It really bothers me, man. It's like, damn, every time y'all get away from Miami, y'all get bum rushed. It really bothers me, man. And I'm just like, it's just fool's gold. I'm like, stop lying to us. You're going to stink up the joint anyway. Just go ahead and do it.
But you ain't got to say
that's how I feel about it.
People ass get kicked.
I did. I'm tired of them lying. I'm tired of them lying to us, man. You know, you can't be that bad.
Even though they trying to win.
Really?
Yeah,
Is that what you saw?
They trying,
I saw at least 3 games this year where they didn't even look like they were trying.
Oh, my God.
But go ahead, I know they got a plethora of injuries. I get that. I understand that, particularly on the defensive side of the ball. I get all of that, all right?
Okay.
And now you got my stud. He's supposed to be out. Waddle, he's supposed to be out. So, okay, it seems like a daunting task. I just want legitimate teams in the postseason.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Can we stay focused here, Swaggo? Here's what I need to know from you.
Okay.
Who's going to win this game?
I'm taking the Dolphins. I'm scared to death. I ain't going to lie. But it's at home, and it's for the division. And I think this Dolphins team, coming off of last week when they got hammered by the Baltimore Ravens, are going to be super incentivized. Now, I know they lost Bradley Chubb, which is a big deal, and Josh Allen and the Bills are walking into that building, a new iteration of this football team as far as how they play football now. But I'm left. The Bills should win the game, but I'm taking the Dolphins because they home, and I think they can be explosive, and it just feels to me that like they going to put one together. It ain't really football reasons. It's emotional.
Yeah.
Right, so I'm not the only one emotional. Go
Everyone's
ahead.
emotional today, except Ryan.
Everybody's emotional.
I know.
today.
I am.
Seriously,
I'm going to take
But it's not like mine not bad. I don't hope nobody get their ass kicked, RC.
That was harsh. That was one of the harsher things I ever heard someone on the air say about a football team.
And we sorry.
I'm going to pick the Buffalo Bills. And the reason why is the AFC Pro Bowl team was announced yesterday. You know who's not on it? Josh Allen. You know who is? James Cook. That's the difference in this Buffalo Bills team and any Buffalo Bills team we've ever watched under Josh Allen. And the fact that they can now go into Miami with the run game that leads to a play-action game, and that play-action game won't have Jalen Phillips or Bradley Chubb rushing the quarterback. This ain't a game you can be down players. If you fast forward, if you rewind back to what this game was the first time, this was Stephon Diggs absolutely losing his mind because he was covered by Kohu the entire game. Now you have a Vic Fangio that won't travel Jalen Ramsey, that won't allow Jalen Ramsey to play in the slot. And if you watch the Baltimore Ravens, I talked to Zay Flowers this week. Zay Flowers said, yeah, we wasn't going to try, buddy. He said, I walked up on the line and I was like, oh, hell, I didn't realize he was this big. And he said on my first release, he ran me off to the sideline. I said, let me back up and give myself some space. That's who Jalen Ramsey is. But you know what Vic Fangio does with him? He sticks him on the right side of the field and he never moves him. Guess what? Everybody else, barbecue chicken. So what's going to happen if Vic Fangio doesn't change? Josh Allen's going to go off. James Cook is going to go off. And offensively, you don't have everything you need to combat that because there is no Mostert, like Stephen A. said. There is no Jalen Waddle, like Stephen A. said. And again, last week, when you make this team one-dimensional, when you move Tua Tagovailoa off his spot, Tua Tagovailoa ain't so Tua Tagovailoa. So for me, going back to watching this film the first time, it's the Buffalo Bills, and I don't even think it's going to be a hard win for the Buffalo Bills.
And listen, well, he is 10-2 against Miami lifetime, so we got to remember that. We got to remember that more so than anything else. He's got more touchdown runs than touchdown passes over the last 5 games, so 8-5. So we got to keep our eyes on that as well. But I totally agree with you, and I get where you're coming from because to me, Buffalo should win this game. You know, they're built for it. I'm looking at Miami, and they haven't shown me they're built for adversity. And they're obviously going through some adverse circumstances right now due to the plethora of injuries. And then we take into account something that none of us have said. We've been talking about Tua all year, or Tyreek Hill all year. We sporadically mentioned Waddle or Jalen Ramsey. You know who we haven't talked about? We never mentioned Vic Fangio. We took for granted that this defensive wizard as a coordinator wasn't great as a head coach in Denver, but obviously was a big-time coordinator. We've seen on far too many occasions this Miami defense resemble nothing, nothing close to great. And then you just brought up Mike McDaniels and taking Tua off his spot and what have you. Well, guess what? What the hell is that about? So now we got a question about the head coach. We got a question about the defensive coordinator. We got questions about the Miami Dolphins' health, all right? Not to mention the fact that the Bills, you win this game, you in. You lose and Pittsburgh wins, you out. And Pittsburgh is going against a Baltimore Ravens team that's going to rest everybody because they've locked up the #1 seed in the AFC.
I think you incentivize, and look, man, like I said, from a football standpoint now, I'm not going to summarily dismiss that the Miami Dolphins can be explosive. And it could be one of those games where we see this offense explode. And I know that even without Jalen Waddle and Mostert, you still got Achane in the backfield. Tua is still a super accurate quarterback. And late in the Dallas game, they got a little something going. The game is favorable for the Buffalo Bills. And I'm not even talking about the injuries. I'm talking about the way that they've been playing football. I think this Miami Dolphins team, though, is going to be incentivized to play just like they have to play to get in the playoffs because you don't want to see Buffalo again. That's the worst thing that can happen for you. So the foot that they will put forward at home to eliminate the Buffalo Bills, I think is going to incentivize this team a little bit more than we've seen them be incentivized. And remember, that defense from Vic Fangio did a good job against Dallas as well. And we all think that Dallas has an explosive offense and can do a phenomenal job. I'm interested in this game, man. I don't think it's going to be a runaway for the Buffalo Bills if they win the game.
I think it's going to be close. I just think they're going to pull away.
All right. They're favored by 3.